Hello and welcome. I am Corrine Rupiper,
And I'm Gabriela Verduzco.
and we're here on our first podcast episode called the Spiritual Brujas.
Yes, we're really excited to be here and to finally be doing this together.
Yes, it is something that I have envisioned for myself for a while. And when you invited me to do this podcast with you, it felt so in alignment and just exactly what I thought was going to be the best thing for us to do together as we're both on our journey in this beautiful human experience and helping women shine their
Yes,
light and find who they are.
likewise.
Yeah.
Likewise, I just felt like I needed to do this with someone and someone who was aligned and on the same personal development world and on the same wavelength as me and on their journey. And I couldn't think of anybody else to do it with than with you.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. So we kind of want to give you guys an idea of what our podcast is going to be about. So we're basically going to be guiding our listeners on a journey of self-discovery, empowerment, and spiritual growth. We're basically going to be exploring all sorts of different things, diverse ranges of different topics, including spiritual coaching, human design, manifestation, inner child healing, and so much more. And so it's basically combining both our wisdom and our insights and our experience through this human experience so far. And we're looking to just share these moments with you within ourselves to offer you guys different tools and just wisdom to help you awaken, your inner goddess and manifest your desires and just really live life in depth and in purpose and in passion. And that's really what we're here to do and to really help just have that self transformation with us as the spiritual brujas.
That's right. And I believe that the world possesses a lot of magic that I think sometimes we get so caught up in our world, in this fast-paced environment, and our world can sometimes look very grayscaled. And we're here to show you guys and remind you guys that, there's magic out there. It's just really up to us to be able to see it and to see the colors and the world in a much vibrant way.
Mhm.
And this is something that obviously takes practice. This is not something that you just wake up one day and are like, "Oh wow, this takes practice." But that's what we're here for. We're here to help guide and allow you guys to see that, there's so much more out there than meets the eye, right? And it's really about what lens you are looking through to be able to see the vibrance in the world. And also to remind you that your journey is the destination. That is the destination. And again, to just remind you that whatever has happened in the past, whatever has happened, whatever mistakes, whatever challenges have gotten in your way, that is part of your journey, and that is who you will create yourself to be because of those circumstances.
Yeah, turning your pain into power and really owning your story and your journey and really, giving yourself grace and just embodying what you've been able to learn in the last how many years that we've been walking, this beautiful experience and being able to not only develop those things within ourselves, but then share them with others. And here we are now developing these beautiful businesses within our lives that we can be able to create and just help other women and be able to just do what we love and fill our cup and our hearts by doing this and serving others. And this is just another avenue for us to be able to help women. And so I'm a spiritual guide and I help women basically discover their light and discover their journey themselves and figuring out whatever that may be. And I use human design to help me do that in discovering their self and their chart and just helping them along their path and trying to really figure out what their passion is, what their purpose is, what lights them up and what brings them joy. And then having them, do those steps and take those inspired action steps to really get them on their journey. And like you said, it isn't just an overnight thing. So it's really having those goals set in place for yourself, and having those inspired action steps laid out, and really just taking that and running with it. And it really, you do create this beautiful life for yourself once you have those tools and those resources, and have the proper guide or the proper coach to be able to assist you. And that's why it's amazing that you're doing what you're doing and I'm doing what I'm doing. And Gabby and I have known each other for, gosh, 20 plus years.
Yes.
We grew up together. So it's just great to be able to see both of us on our journeys through life, totally different, but here we are, both helping women, both trying to just expand ourselves in our journey. And we come together and create, this podcast, which is amazing. So
That's
it's
right.
just a journey, and great to have you to be able to be on this journey with me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's amazing. I think it's crazy to look back and think of when we met, where we were in our life. I mean, we were still kids, and you're basically family, that. And I don't think I don't think I was even married yet or anything, I don't even think I had kids yet
No.
when we met. So it's just crazy to see where we were then and where we're at now, and how we were together then, and then we kind of, distanced, and then we came back together. So it's just crazy, you just never really think about where you're going to end up. But I'm really happy that I'm doing this with you. And yes, again, we are here to, more than anything, be a vessel for other women, and men, if it aligns with them, and just really speak our truth, and help other women step into their power, kind of carry that light for them, to allow them and guide them to see their light, and to show them that you can make your mess your message. You can use what you've been through to make your a message for other women, because I think ultimately that's what we're here for. We are here to, in this human experience, to go through things in order to be able to become this higher version of ourselves, right? And if we would not go through these things, we would not be able to elevate. And sometimes I think we have to go back to our past. That's the only way. In order to go forward, you have to go back to go through the things, and kind of reflect and dissect them, and figure out what the meaning of you having to go through it. What was the lesson, that you were supposed to learn? Because everything we go through is a lesson, right?
Absolutely.
In order for us to move forward, and really be able to step in our power, and be able to become that person that we need to be in life, again, to turn around and guide others. And this this is very exciting for me, because I feel like this is a big movement in the world right now. Like, things are changing, people are changing, they're broadening their horizon, they're being more open-minded about things, about all the spiritual things. And I think that for me is very, very exciting, and comforting also, because I have kids and I want them to grow up in a much different world than I grew up,
Mm.
not so much violence, not so much hate. So it's really exciting to see that a lot more people are kind of getting on board with, the whole spiritual stuff and everything. And yeah, it's just super, super exciting.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's definitely a good time in our journey to be able to start this adventure, and not only for us, but for, like you said, other women and men, if
Our
that's what
descendants.
they want.
And
And
our
I
descendants.
Yeah, and I truly feel that we are here to help just share our story, and share our mess, and share our message, and be able to just, help others, guide them through whatever they've been through, based on our wisdom and our experience and everything else. And it's just incredible to see, how we started and what we've been through
Yeah.
together and apart. And I truly believe that women are here as strong entities in this earth. I mean, just in general, as women, we're a powerful force. And then if we can really step into our power as a woman and fully embody who we are, the magic is just, I mean, it's just unreal, you know, and then the abundance that you receive and everything else that just comes with it when you can really own your light and step into your power is just, you know, it's a feeling like no other. And a lot of
Yeah.
women struggle with finding their power. And I feel that's why it's important for us to be doing this at this time as well, because within
Wow.
both our work separately, we are going to be helping women really step into their power, find their light, shine as bright as they can, you know, and just get where they desire to be with our help. Because a lot of women, I feel, are stuck or lost wearing their many identities, you know, being a mom or being a sister or a wife or whatever their role is. And, you know, I feel it's so important as us women to take back our power and to really just, you know, discover who we are and discover who our gifts are and how, you know, our heart wants to lead us. And it's just an incredible thing to be able to really have that power and own that power as a woman when you get to that point in your life. And I'm just super excited to be able to share that with others and help them open their eyes even more to the beauty behind the world that we're living in and the magic that's available to each and every one of us. We all have it with us, we all have it within us. And there's so much magic that's just available to us. We just have to bring it out and find it, you know, and find that light. And so,
That's
yeah,
right.
here we are.
That's right. And I think that you know, for me personally, I know I haven't introduced my what I do, but I'm a neuro linguistics programming, EFT, hypnosis, life success coach, you know, and technique practitioner. That's what I got certified in, and my goal is to really, like you said, enlighten other women, but also help them see that, you know, that those limiting beliefs that we are brought up with, you know, and all the shame sometimes or guilt or disappointment that we feel is really kind of like something that it's not real, you know. It's just what we've been programmed with our entire life, and it's really because our parents or grandparents or whoever raised us, right, um, did the best with what they knew, but that was just what they were taught, right? So it's really important to realize that our subconscious mind, like 95% of our thoughts come from our subconscious mind, right? And
Mhm.
if we are living in a very negative space and, you know, consumed by all this negative stuff, and when I say negative stuff, I mean the news, music, you know, society, if you
Right.
really think about it, there is so much negativity out there that you really don't, you're not necessarily focusing on and being present on, but your subconscious mind is, you know, absorbing all of these things on a regular basis, then that is what you are gonna, you know,
Consumerism.
attract. You're gonna consume and you're gonna attract that, right? Because where attention goes, energy flows.
Absolutely.
And that has been a really big thing for me to realize, you know, that, you know, if we just kind of change everything, even for example, when I'm driving in the car, I have my um subliminals playing, or I'll have like high frequency music playing on the radio, you know, on the stereo, and I'm just, even though I'm not focusing on that music, I'm talking to the kids or I'm doing something else, my subconscious mind is listening to all of that, you know? So I let it play all day long because I'm like, everything I'm putting in my brain is positive stuff, you know? I refuse to listen to the radio. I refuse to watch TV and listen to the news because I know that
That-
there's things out there, right? That we have no control over, you
Yeah.
know? And we can, I think I sent you this the other day, Corinne. We can care about things, but we don't need to worry because he, he said caring is about the heart, worrying is about the mind, right?
Mhm.
Worrying is psychological, you know, and worrying is not going to change what is going on around us. We can
Right.
care. And because we care, That's why we're doing this work, right? That's why we're like, I've thought about it so much, and I'm like, I feel like a badass because I'm changing things for my kids. Like, my kids will not have to go through what I've gone through. You
Mm,
know, they are going to be very different, emotionally stronger, mentally stronger, much more compassionate, kind, Um, so I'm changing it for them, and that is what I'm doing for the world, right? There's just things out there that we cannot change. We cannot change, like worrying is not going to change anything. The only thing it's going to do is cause more anxiety,
girl.
stress,
Yeah.
depression, all these other we're going to make our bodies ill. Because remember, our issues live in the tissue, Uh,
Especially as a female. Yeah.
yeah, the body keeps the score. And I mean, there's so much to this spiritual thing experience, that I've learned that, like, our wombs are, almost like a portal, you
Yeah.
know and it's just so fascinating. It's so fascinating to learn about all the different areas that we can really learn and grow, and will help us be a better version of ourselves, and
Yeah.
in order to have that life we want, we're going to have to let go of that life we had, right? And that means that
Yeah.
we are going to have to change our environment. We will have to change the people we surround ourselves with. We will have to change the way we thought, right? We will have to change so many things. And sometimes that change is very, very hard to do.
And
I know for
scary.
me, yeah, it's scary. And
Mhm.
it comes with grief, right? You almost have to grieve, that person that you were, but also be immensely grateful to that person that you were, because that person birthed this new version of yourself, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. 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 No, and that's the beauty about this whole life experience, this whole human experience is at any point in our lives, if we are not happy with how the trajectory, how our path is leading us, we have the opportunity as human beings to change what we're doing. There's so many resources and tools, and now especially with the online space and all the guides and the coaches and the teachers and just everybody who's willing to help serve and lead with love and just want to change the world, and it's just amazing to see all these people wanting to have this positive change and this positive light. And it's like that's the beauty of it, is that there's so many options available that if you really want to make that change in your life, you can. And it's just about getting out of your comfort zone, really deciding what needs to change, and usually it's all three. It's your mind, it's your physical body, and
Yeah.
it's spirit, I mean, it's all of it. So it's all connected. And it's like once you start working on one, they just
It's a
all align,
domino effect.
and it's a domino effect. And as we get into our stories and we share everything, I mean, I just look back at my previous lives and my previous versions of me, and that's exactly how it's been. It's just connecting, your mind, body, and spirit, and everything just really ends up being cohesive and flowing together. And that's when you start manifesting the amazing things in your life, and you start to see that abundance really come. And it's really a beautiful thing. So making that choice and starting is the biggest decision, I feel, right? But as in your journey, and as I know in mine, if I never would have made that choice to just start and to just make that new path for my life, I mean, I don't even know where I'd be today if I didn't decide, to want better for myself and want to make that change and really just, put the hammer down and be like, it's time, right?
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, all it takes is one choice, right? You don't have to overwhelm yourself with, like, oh my gosh, I have to change my body, I have to change my soul, I have to change my mind. Like, just start with changing your mind, and start small, because it's all those small steps that will add up, at the end. And that can be with adding in a little bit of meditation in the morning, or before you go to bed. For me personally, I really enjoy putting hypnosis on right before bed. It's like usually 3 to 4 hour hypnosis, and I'll fall asleep to it,
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter because I'm sleeping and my subconscious mind is still listening to all these things, reprogramming my brain. And I cannot tell you how, and it's crazy to think of it, but how much change I've had with just that hypnosis, you know? But it's all these things combined that will help you evolve into this person, right? And just a reminder that you cannot step into your power without going through that pain. You know, you have to go through like I said, you have to go back and experience all that pain again to really be able to step back into your power. But that is so necessary in order to evolve, in order to become more expansive, you know? Um, and yeah, it's just one make a choice to just change one thing every week or every couple of weeks, you know, add something to your day, you know, a meditation or just some there's short meditations, right? There's like that 5-minute meditations that if you listen to it every single day, it will start to make you think and reflect and want to change things, you know? Because really it's like we're walking around with a blindfold for many, many years. I mean, for me, it was over 30 years, you know? And now that it's gone, I'm just almost in awe of this life, you know, and I'm like, "Holy shit, why didn't anybody teach me this before?" You know, why have I been, like, in the dark this whole time, you know, because you just see things so different, you feel things so different, you know? You have a new appreciation for life, for like I said before, for the magic that the world possesses, that Mother Earth possesses, like, if you really think about the trees, how they bear fruits, you know? Like they give us fruits, the soil, the dirt harvest vegetables for us. As women, as women, our bodies can carry a child, can create life. I mean, that is just
Harvest our
something,
own
yeah,
fruit.
if you stop and think about it, it just blows your mind, you know? You're like, how? How? Like, you know? So there's real magic. It's just really up to us
To see
to
it.
take a look, to look deep,
Yeah.
deeper, you know, and be able to see it. But yeah, I think that all this stuff is fascinating. I know you do too. We are just
Mhm.
so happy to be able to do this and be able to do this work because it doesn't even feel like work, right? It's just like I can do this all day long and I love it. I absolutely am in love with the work and my journey, you know, I just want to like learn more and more and more and there's so much more than I thought there was, right? There's
Oh
so
yeah.
many other like courses and so many different techniques, you know, than what I've learned. I've come to find out, and that's really exciting because I just want to try everything.
Right, right. And that's the greatest thing too, is that there is so many resources and so much out there that can really help you along your journey, you know? So depending if you're
Hmm.
battling with, depression or anxiety, or, you have ADHD, or, you're just all these self-limiting beliefs that I know that's one of my biggest things that I had to go through, in my relationship with food. And I mean, my mindset, it's just like my physical body. I mean, I've gone through tons of changes. So, and all the different modalities that I've been able to use and learn and
Yeah,
help myself, as on your journey too. Now you're able to share and teach those to other women, and use those modalities to be able to guide others on their journey. And it's just a beautiful thing. And there's just so much out there. And I feel like when one person is ready to really start their journey and they start to just see the glimpse of what's available, it's like it's a whole new world, because
yeah,
you realize that you're not alone. You realize that there's so many other women on this journey that are walking your same footsteps, and you just don't realize because we're all ashamed, or we just feel guilty, or we just don't know how to share ourselves, and share our mess, right? So it's like really once we can step into our power just that little bit, and then we do that choice and we make that decision where we want better for ourselves and want to make that move, then you start to meet women that are, taking those steps and that align with you, and that you realize that even people in your circle are going through the same things you do, and then you
yeah.
can connect. And grow together and be together. And it's just really amazing to really discover that within yourself, but then discover really there's so many other women out there just like you and I that are on this journey, that are trying to find our light, that are trying to find our purpose and trying to find who we are, and who we are in this world. And it's just a beautiful thing. And to be able to, just have that wherewithal and get to that point where we are now, it's just really a beautiful thing to have. And to really have that different lens on the world and just see it for what it is now compared to what I used to see it, is just unreal, and I want everybody to feel like this. I want
Yeah.
women and men to feel in their power and to lead with love and to not be stuck in their head. And, it's all about, moving from your head to your heart, and really that experience and that journey and how to really get there. Because a lot of us live in our head. We don't know how it is to be in our body and how to just embody our true selves and our true feelings and just be real and authentic, and express ourselves how we want to be expressed. A lot of us are people pleasers, or we like,
Yeah.
we're living life for other people and for our parents, or for that, for whoever we think is going to be, the one that we can show ourselves to. But really it's for us, we want to live life for us, and it has to be for us first.
And the
We
way
can,
you want to live it, right?
and the way we want to live it for ourselves and not for anybody else. It's
Because
our
there's
journey.
really no wrong way to live your life, you know?
Right,
You have
right.
to live life the way you want to live it. And it's not to say this is going to be easy. Like this is going to be hard. This journey is very, very hard, and there will be so many times in your life where you just want to quit, but we're here to tell you don't quit, because
It's
it's like
worth it.
peeling back layers. And remember, if you do what is easy, then life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, then life will be easy,
Mm.
because it's peeling back the layers, and every time you peel back one layer, you're gonna think like, "Oh, I feel so great," and then you're gonna have to peel back another layer and another layer, and I mean, the growing never stops, right? You keep changing, you keep evolving, like, who we are today, we will probably not be in 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now.
Oh, absolutely.
We're forever growing
Yeah.
and
Evolve, expand.
evolving, and expanding and just becoming different versions, better versions of ourselves, but also honoring the past versions of ourselves, and the future versions of ourselves. The point is to look back when we are, you know, much older and say, wow, I really lived my life the way I wanted to live it. I really took the risks and, did what I wanted to do and lived with true joy, and peace.
Mhm.
And, I spread that joy to everybody, because I think that's what all of us have in common, right? Is that we are seeing how good life would be, and we kind of want to be like, come on, like take everybody with us,
True.
to show them. But sometimes we have to remember people are not always ready, not always ready. I know I've had a few times when I've told family members, just the other day I was like talking to my cousin, and he was saying he was feeling a little withdrawn, he wasn't feeling so great, and he was a little depressed and stuff, and I was trying to tell him like, "Oh my gosh, like life is so amazing." And I was kind of talking, giving him that magic thing, like, look at the
Yeah.
world, it's just so powerful and there's so much to see. And he was like, "Girl, what are you smoking?" You know? Like, "Are you
Right.
like on some psychedelics or something?" And I was like, "Okay, like let me remind myself that not everybody is open and receptive to what you're offering, and you sometimes need to kind of we need to tame ourselves and just protect our energy, right? Because if they're not open and receptive and we're talking about this stuff, they can kind of bring us down to a different frequency, So just really be aware of that, and kind of listen to our intuition. I think that's what I've learned this year. This year, I've really learned to listen to my gut and listen to my intuition and ask myself. So, something my human design taught me is that I can't act right away because I get really excited and then I'm kind of like impulsive. I'm like, oh, I want to buy this or I want to take this course. So I have to kind of wait until I'm neutral And if I'm neutral and I think about that and I'm still as excited, then I go for it. But if I'm like, then I don't go for it. So I've really had to learn that I need to go slow in order to go fast, you know? Um, so that's been my challenge, is to really listen to my intuition. And I cannot tell you how much easier it's gotten to listen to my intuition. When somebody asks me something, right away, the answer that comes first, I know that that's the answer I need to give, because that's my gut telling me yes or no, or just step back or whatever. So
Yeah.
listening to your intuition is going to be key in all of this, because that is what's going to guide you, to the path that you need to go. So yeah. Anyhow, do you want to start by sharing your story, or I can start? What would you
Um,
like?
yeah, you can go ahead and start. Yeah.
Okay. So this journey for me started, let me see here. Maybe I think it really, really started when I was in COVID. Through COVID, I started getting into more serious into the personal development world. And what led me to get here was actually years back, like 12 years ago, 13 years ago, something like that. I actually was incarcerated for quite some time, and that experience alone was really shook me. And not only did it shake me, but I realized how selfish I was being, and how much my actions would directly affect innocent people in my life. For example, I have 4 kids, and I really feel like they suffered a lot of the consequences for my actions, for my mistake that I made. They had to pay for it as well. And that brought on, as you guys can imagine, shame, guilt, disappointment in myself. Definitely felt a sense of unworthiness. Um, it just felt like I really didn't deserve the family that I had, because I had let them down so bad. I could just see the disappointment in my parents' eyes, in my husband's life, or in his eyes. So that was really rough. I mean, being away from my kids for all that time, I missed my daughter's first birthday. She was about 4.5 months when I was remanded in court. Um, and that experience was really rough, I remember that day in court, and first of all, I remember that morning waking up, and I just knew in my gut that I was not going to come home. I mean, I remember getting ready, and I did not put any earrings on. I didn't put my wedding ring on. I took my necklace off. Like, I just left my wallet. I left everything at home, because I was like, I'm not coming home. I just know something in my gut was just telling me this is it. Because my courts had gotten extended and extended and extended every single time, but I just knew this time was different. And we went to court, and my kids went to school, and I said bye to them, and I remember crying, and all of that. But my youngest, my baby, she was 4.5 months old, and we were going we were going through, inside the court, and my sister stayed outside with the baby. And I remember the judge was seeing, there was other people before me to see the judge to be sentenced. And I remember leaving the court and going outside and holding her one more time. And my sister's like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "I'm just, I know this is it." And she's like, "No." She's like, "You're gonna see it's gonna be fine." She's like, "We're gonna leave here and we're gonna go have breakfast together." And I was like, "No, we're not. We're not." I just knew it was not gonna be. So when I went up to be sentenced, or to see the judge to see if I was gonna be sentenced or not, I was just already crying. I was already crying and crying, and the judge is like, "Why are you crying? I haven't even said anything." And I just didn't say anything. And then he sentenced me, to my sentence was I don't even remember. I think it was like 52 months or something like that. you know and and I was just crying, and I remember in that moment, I did not hear anything the judge was saying. That's probably why I can't even remember what the exact months were. I just was crying, and they took me to the back and they handcuffed me. They put the shackles on and everything. And I was just crying and crying, and all I could think about were my kids, right? And I asked the officer, I said, "Can I please go outside and say bye to my baby? She's outside." And he said, I will take the cuffs off and I will let you go, but you cannot make a scene." And I said, "No, I won't." So he let me out through this other door and I got to hold Valeria, my youngest, one more time. And I remember holding her, and my family was I just remember the look on their face. Everybody was crying, and they were just telling me, "We're gonna get you out, we're gonna get you out." But there was something inside of me. I knew what I had done, and I know what I had done had consequences, and I knew that this was there was no way out of this. I was gonna have to do the time, and I was gonna have to go through this in order to get to the other side. And obviously, being incarcerated was a horrible experience. There was in itself, but honestly, if I can look back now, that time, I almost feel like the time after being released to now has been much harder and traumatic than being incarcerated itself, because I have had to prove myself time and time again to people, and I've had to really, like, stand there and allow society to put all these labels on me, even though I know that I am not the same person that I was then, that I have these felonies on my record, right? And anytime I do anything, there's a background check, right? There's a background check for getting apartments, there's a background checks for applying for jobs, and I cannot tell you how many times I have gotten a job and then somebody will go back and look me up or something and I will be fired, you know? And that in itself, every single time that has happened, it I feel like it takes me back,
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
takes me back to that moment, to feeling the shame, feeling the disappointment in myself, feeling the grief, feeling the guilt, feeling the unworthiness, and feeling like a piece of shit, really, and it really takes a few days for me to remind myself that I am not that person. I am not who I used to be, I am not the label society puts on me or the story that I tell myself I am, I am somebody very different. And I will say the most memorable experience or traumatic experience after being released was this one time that it had been probably, I think it was 2015. So I had already been out for like 4 or 5 years. And I, but first of all, we were living in an RV, all six of us, my kids, my husband, myself. We were living in an RV we were paying rent to use somebody's driveway. And that was pretty traumatic itself. There was no bathroom, there was no shower. Well, there was a bathroom and there was a shower, but we did not have we could not have access it because were not connected to a sewer. So there was nowhere for that water or anything to go. So we could not shower there. We would have to go to the school where my husband worked at to shower, every night. And the school had a little shower where we would shower. We did that for about a year. That was traumatic in itself, but there was one moment where my brother-in-law, he got me a job at the Marin County, for working for like Medi-Cal and all of that stuff. And he had spoken to his bosses. First of all, I did not want to lie anymore. I did not want to act like my past did not happen, So I was trying to get a job by being honest and saying, "Hey, look, first of all, I know background checks cost money, right? They're expensive, So I did not want the people to waste the money on background checks. So I would tell them, "Hey, this is what happened. This is what I did. I made a huge mistake. I'm not that person anymore. I just want another chance. I just want to work to be able to support my family." So, we were very honest when I applied for this job, and he spoke to his boss and they spoke to HR, and they were going to give me a chance. Okay. They interviewed me and they were going to give me a chance to work. And I remember the day I got the um the offer letter for the job, and I was crying, my sister was crying. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm finally gonna get a real job, like, where I pay taxes and, I can work, and I can, like, have job security and all of this." So, we lived in Redwood City. This job was in Novato, in Marin. So, what I did was I got my kids out of school and I moved. I moved everybody to Santa Rosa, which is a 2-hour drive. So they
Mhm.
had to start school over there. They had to start everything over there. I had to relocate everybody because I was going to get a chance at getting this job, and that was just not going to happen where I was located. So we moved over there and, I got the kids set up and everything. And I was gonna show up to work, and I got a call from the HR department saying that I guess there's, like, a panel of people that have to approve it, and there was just 1 person out of 4 people, I believe it was, or 3 people that was like, "No, I can't approve this. This is she is a liability, she's gonna be working with, Medi-Cal clients, and that has addresses, that has social security numbers, and unfortunately the felonies that I had was ground grand theft and burglary. So seeing people's addresses, seeing people's information was obviously a liability because then I could take that information if I wanted to, or whatnot. Um, so they said, "No, I'm sorry." They told me, "I'm sorry, I'm really sorry, but we won't be able to offer you the job." And, you know, I can't even begin to tell you what I felt in that moment. I had to go back and tell my kids that we had moved away for no reason, that I didn't get the job, that I, you know, like totally flipped their world upside down. They were starting high school and stuff, so it was already tough. They were going to a new school, new environment, new place. There was just so much change going on. And I just didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to do it. So I I remember going into a church and just praying, and I remember getting on my knees and really just asking God, like, what am I missing here? Like, what am I not seeing? Why do these things continue to happen to me? I just want to work. I know what I did. I know these are consequences, to for what I did, but gosh, I just want to work. I just want to be able to sustain my family, to get food and stuff. And at the time we were living in my aunt's living room. She let us put my bed in her living room and we were living there. And that was really rough. The kids were going through their own, they were teenagers, they were going through their own stuff. So it was already really rough on them, and I just didn't know how to tell them that. So my sister ended up talking to her ex-boss at the dermatology office, and they gave me a job like 2 days later. And I remember I went to buy scrubs and, she's like, "You can wear scrubs." So I was like, "Cool." So I went and I only had, I think, like $200 in my account. So I spent like 80 bucks on scrubs. I bought like 3 pairs of scrubs and, I was excited finally they were going to give me the job. And I did. I started working at the dermatology office in Novato, and I worked there for 4 days, and then they fired me because somebody had Googled my name. And I think that was the first time I really broke down. I couldn't take it anymore. Had been too much. And I remember I was in the car and I remember calling my mom and I was like hysterical. I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to keep going, like it's not doing it had been 5 years that I had continuously gone through this. And I'm like, and then now I moved my whole family over here and it's all for nothing. I mean, just the thoughts that come to your mind.
Yeah.
Um, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do, but I was in such a dark place. I was in such a bad place. I almost lost hope. But I will say I never gave up. I never gave up. I just kept going, and I would allow myself a day or two to go through whatever I needed to go through and just got back up. And we ended up moving back to the Bay Area and we moved to Fremont. And when I got back, I found a job with a family in this area, and I was working with them for quite a while. I was working with them. I think it was almost a year, or maybe a little more than a year, and I was working with them, and I really loved the family. I was getting paid well. I was like, "Wow, thank you, Lord. This is amazing." And
And
I went on. Huh?
you were a
I was a
nanny.
nanny. Yeah, I was a nanny, and I remember going on a trip with Marissa, with my cousin, to Indian Springs, to Calistoga, and the family. It was around my birthday. It was around her birthday time, but I had done like I was working overtime for them, for the family, and they were really happy with me, and they messaged me and said they wanted to send a gift to my house to thank me. And the kids had drew a picture for me, and they wanted to mail it or whatever. So they had text me, but I was in a place where there was not very good reception. So I didn't see the message till much later. And when I got back, they said they wanted to talk to me. So what happened is that they couldn't reach me. So they decided to Google me to see if they could find my address to send me the gift. And when they Googled me, they saw my mugshot and they saw my stuff, and they let me go that day. They let me go. And honestly, that was the end. That was the last time. And that time I did fall in depression, and I was there for like, gosh, a month. Just I did not leave my room. I did not take showers. I was just devastated because I worked for them for over a year. I never took a dime, you know, and I could not understand how, if I worked for them for so long and I didn't do anything, why would they continue to judge me by my past? And what really hurt was that the dad told me that he could not trust me with his girls, because of my past. And that was really hurtful. I had loved the girls, and I was just I remember that day I got on my knees and I was crying and I was just like, what is going on? Like, what do I have to do? Like, what am I supposed to? I was talking to God, and I was like, I just don't get it. I don't understand where this is supposed to lead me. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write down all these jobs. I'm going to go through them. I'm going to look and see what could I possibly learn from each one of them. And I did. I wrote everything down, and I really sat there for a couple of hours. And I remember that day I watched Netflix. I watched A Date with Destiny with Tony Robbins. I watched it, and I was
Yeah.
in the room all day, and that really helped me see things differently. I saw that in all those jobs, the common denominator was the same, was the fact that my past kept coming up. And so in that moment, I really thought, shit, I have to do something with my past. This has something to do with my past. How can I use my past experience to do something with myself?
Mhm.
How can I take the power away from the media to tell my story? You know, the only way I'm going to do that is by me telling my story. That is going to take power away from the media because there is nothing I have to hide anymore if
Right.
I tell my story. And I get to say it the way I lived it. Not to say that what I did was right. Absolutely not. It was totally wrong. What I did was wrong. And I don't justify it. But I get to say things the way I went through it and what I've learned from it and who I am now because of that experience. And also, like, how do I make my mess my message? You
Right.
know, that's what I learned from that moment was that I had to do something different. I had to be my own boss, first of all, because nobody can fire me. I had to use my experience to help other women or other people in the same situations. I had to also use my experience to teach people that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you've done in your past. It's up to you to recreate yourself.
Yeah.
You have the power to decide that you want to be somebody different. And you have the power to teach to show the world who that person's going to be. And
Hmm.
yes, there's going to be people that judge you. Yes, there's going to be people that don't believe you, but then those are not your people, you
Right.
know, because your people, the people that are going to relate to you, because there's hundreds and thousands and millions of people that have gone through what I've gone through, you know? So
Hmm.
that's what I'm here for. I'm here to be a vessel for those people. And I would really like to one day, and I will one day, be able to go into the system, into the jails and help women or
Hmm.
men who are going to be released within the next 6 months and just really help build them up,
Yeah.
allow them to start to step into their power, you know, and just teach them and show them that they really can change their narrative. They can change who they want to be. They do not have to be this number that the jail puts on you because you do not have a name in there. You are labeled as a number. You know,
Hmm.
you lose all your rights, you
Hmm.
know, you are treated horribly, you know, for the most part. I was actually very lucky. I was able to work and I, you know, was not treated in very very bad by the deputies. I actually have a lot of respect for the people that I worked for, you know, and thank them for actually treating me like a human, you know. But I've seen people get treated really bad, and there's definitely deputies in there that were not nice to me, you know, and they were threatening me and stuff. But unfortunately, I realized that that is part of the consequence for what I did, right? I cannot change that. I
Yeah.
can only change myself. And
Right.
because I can only change myself, I have made that decision and I have made it my mission to do it. I have made my mission to become this version of myself that honors that past version of myself and is using all I've been through to become and create this person that I want to be, right? Because I know that I have the power to do that. And they have any person out there that has been through something similar, that has been through the justice system, because let me tell you, there is no justice in the justice system. You know, they have I now understand why so many people end up back in jail, you know, because if I didn't have the support I had, then Corinne, you know, if I didn't have your guys' support, if I didn't have my family's support, you know, I probably would have ended up there, you know? There's definitely been moments when I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, like I can totally see the temptation that people go through to try and make a living, you know, and be able to feed their family when everybody's closing the doors on you back to back to back to back, you
Oh
know,
yeah. Yeah.
for sure. um and they do not help you, the county doesn't help you, you know, there's really not a program in place to help you build yourself up. You know, you leave there with a label and you that label stays on you, you
Hmm.
know, especially if you're going back reintegrating yourself back into the community where you lived prior, you know, there's already that label on you. I mean, my kids got teased, you know, there was definitely people who said things to them, you know, even family members who, you know, didn't really want to associate their kids to associate with my kids, you know, for whatever reasons, you know. And I've seen it firsthand. I've seen it firsthand, but that's what I'm here for. I'm here to let you know that it's not true. It's all a lie. And those people judging you are just scared. are scared because they see something in you that they do not possess. They
Right.
see something in you that that scares them, you know? It's a projection. It's a projection of themselves, you know, and they live in fear, and that's why they're judging you, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's yeah, I totally agree. I feel that society puts on way too many labels on us. And unfortunately, you had that firsthand of experience, and it's just your resilience has been amazing through this whole thing. And it's just like, for you to have that realization, and for you to sit down with yourself, and a lot of us don't even do that, is get real with ourselves, where you took that time to sit down and be like, let me reflect on my past jobs and really see what it is, like what it is that I can discover about this experience that can help me get to that next level. And you did the work, you were doing the deep diving and trying to figure out your inner knowing to see what that was, and really trying to figure out what it was that you needed to do for you to overcome these labels that you've been having most of your adult life. And so it's a beautiful thing to now see how you were and how you've grown and how you've come and just been able to blossom into this beautiful human, and not only for yourself but for your family and for everybody else. And it's just great because now you can share your story, you can turn your mess into
Yeah.
your message and share your power. And it's hard always talking about us and what we've been through in our experience, but there's always somebody out there that needs to hear our message and needs to hear our voice and needs to hear what we've experienced and what we've been through and how we've overcome it. And just that faith and that hope that we've held on to and that we've never given up. And that's really great with just us as women, and just humans in general, is making that choice to want to do better. And you finally had enough, and you said, you've been trying all these things and nothing's working, and you're just running that race. And it's like, okay, when enough is enough, then you got to go a different direction, and you got
Yeah.
to figure something else out. And if the same things aren't working out for you, well, then something has to change, that you have to go a different route and a different way. And that was great that you had that insight enough and that awareness to be able to kind of shift gears, and realize for yourself that you needed to be your own boss, in order
Right.
to succeed in life. And that's a huge step, and it's scary, right? Because you're always thinking, we're going to go to school, we're going to get a job, go to college, get a job, and then provide, be married, have a family. And when one of those things aren't happening, or you think, according to society, this is how life is supposed to be, we kind of, get frazzled and get frantic and have shame because we're not living life how society is meant to see life for us. And
Yeah.
it's like you really then appreciate the struggles and the pain that you've been through, because then it's who makes us who we are, right? And without those struggles and those pain points, it's like we wouldn't be where we are today. We wouldn't be the
Yeah.
strong women we are today. And we wouldn't be able to share our mess with other women and
And I
shine.
mean, like, think about it, like, if all those doors wouldn't have closed, like, that is the reason every single time I got fired, you
Mhm.
know, because I needed to be here. I needed to do this, because if one of those doors would have stayed open and I would have done it, I would be in a whole different place right now, you
Yeah.
know? The reason all those doors closed, the reason I got fired from all those jobs was because I needed to be here,
Yeah.
and it really took for me to be at the bottom. I like to say the God was the rock at the bottom. You hit rock bottom. He was the rock there. And it really took me to get there and sit there, for me to be able to see that light and shine that light to the area that I needed to really look at, and it's been, I'm not going to say it's easy. It has not been easy under no circumstances, this journey, but very, very necessary. And, you know, I'm, I now feel, because I've been able to overcome all these things, and even in the last couple years, um, I was I mean, there's just so much other things that I've been through that I've been able to overcome. You know that now it just feels like this should be the easy part, you know? This should
Mhm.
be the easy part. Like if I've gone through that, I should be able to do this. And yes, it's still going to be, not to say that it's not going to be challenging, it's still going to be challenging. But if I just remember that I have one goal in mind and I just need to put one foot in front of another every single day and keep going towards my goal and keep working on myself, that's all I need to do in order to get there. And really just be patient, because I think patience, it's important to say that you need to be patient, right? Timing
Oh,
is everything.
oh yeah.
Timing is everything. We want, sometimes as humans, we want instant gratification. We want it to come now. We want it to do now, and just really sitting back and really enjoying the journey, and really being present every day in of your journey, and seeing what areas, and really sometimes, remember, growth is not linear. So you think you're going to go this way, but really, like, you'll take a little turn and you'll kind of end up in a whole different direction, right? But you can still end up where you're going. You just have detours along the way. So it's been quite a journey, but I've had people um in my corner for a long time, and I'm really grateful for those people, especially, the ones that have really held my hand along the way and not turned their back on me. And you're one of those people. You've always supported me. You've always been there for me and my family, and I'm really, really grateful for those people, for sure.
Yeah, and it's important because not everyone has those people, in your life. And like you said, even family members, were shaming you, and it's just so hard to realize that when you go through different things in life, and people, no matter what, are always going to judge you, and you really have to get over that. You have to, that's a projection of somebody else, and you really have to learn that, because as a woman, and as especially as a sensitive woman, we take that to heart, and then it's like we want to blame ourselves for those things happening, and it's like it's not on us. It's their own thoughts of us, which have nothing to do with us, and it's just realizing that that's their story and that's what they want to believe, and we have our own story and we know our truth, and as long as we stand in our truth and we are leading with love and doing what we know is true to our heart, that we know we're doing good. And it's okay what other people have to say, because in reality they're really hurting on the inside, and
Right.
that's why they're projecting onto you, because, or onto whoever, because they're not truly happy with how their life is, and it's unfortunate, but that's just how we are as humans, that's how we handle things sometimes, is to project on
Yeah,
others, unfortunately.
exactly. Don't not learn to not take it personal, right? That
Right.
it's not it's not about us, it's about them, and learning to, you know, maybe even have compassion for them, and remember, grace, giving other people grace is giving them what they might not deserve at the time, whether that's giving them a hug even though they're being hurtful to you, giving them support even if they're being hurtful to you, whatever, giving people grace is what they may not deserve at the time, but it's still important to that they see us as, it's okay, it's going to be okay, I understand, and I'm here, and just letting people know that you're there regardless, and that, you know, they are hurting and that's why they are being the way they're being.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's
And
wonderful.
having our boundaries, right? Having
Yeah.
our boundaries and protecting our energy, making sure that, you know, at least I know for you and for me, like, being around family can be tough sometimes, and it's important to love them and love them, be able to love them at a distance,
Mhm.
and also remember that to protect our energy when we go to family events, like, okay, we were here for a while, now it's time for me to go, you
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
because sometimes we can feel, at least for me, sometimes I feel very depleted and drained.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's one of the beauties of being on this journey is, we're getting out of our mind. So we're getting more into our bodies, and then we're listening to our intuition, which our bodies know a lot, and our intuition can be very strong once you tune in. And it's like, that's when you start discovering those things about the people around you and who you want to be around and who you don't want to be around and how you want to, extend your energy even. And it changes everything really. Like once you have that full self-awareness, right? And how your body really is supposed to feel in a good environment versus a tense or not so good environment, and everything changes when your environment isn't as calm or as soothing as you desire it to be. So yeah, you really have to know yourself and know when to not only extend your energy, but when to draw it back, so then you're not overextending yourself and then depleting yourself and then burning out and so on and so forth, right?
Right.
So it's all part of it. And it's yeah, it's all part of the journey and learning how to, like you said, give yourself grace through all the things that you've been through, and all the mistakes we make in life, and all the journey and lessons that we endure. And
And that
it's
we
all,
will continue to make. We will
yeah,
continue to
oh
make
yeah, yeah,
mistakes. We will continue to learn from our mistakes. We will continue to to grow. This is like an ever changing journey. Forever. It's not like we're gonna get to a place that has been also a learning in itself, right? Learning that we're not gonna get to a place where we're completely healed. You know, we're gonna continue to grow and heal. This
oh
is an
absolutely,
ongoing journey, and you know, accepting it, accepting that we have bad days, because we have bad days. Just last week I was having a couple bad days. I was in a funk, but just learning that, it's okay. It's okay to have bad days.
yeah,
It's about what we do tomorrow, and, where what we choose to do the next day, how we choose to uh elevate, and how we choose to change our projection on life the next day, and how we choose to, you know, change the view, change the lens, be able to change our perspective on things the next day.
yeah. No, absolutely. And that's what's really great is once you start doing this work, your perspective completely shifts. And the things that you see and the dynamic behind everything is just incredible. And so it's really having a different perspective than most, which you have to realize, because not everyone, like you said, when you were talking with your cousin, he thought you were on psychedelics because you were talking about the beauty that we see with this new profound lens that we've discovered within ourselves to share with others. And not everyone sees it. And it's only in time where we'll be able to share more with those who are just attracted to our vibe, right? And who want to really just see our light and want that for themselves. And that's really what is amazing, is to be able to be okay not helping those who aren't ready yet, right? But we know there's so
Right.
many people out there that are just waiting to hear our stories, to hear our mess, to hear our message, and to really make that their own, and relate to it and resonate with them, and realize that they're just like us, going through their own journey, and being able to just really make something for themselves, and really hoping to help them discover their light, and get those women on the other side of this, because once we do, it's just incredible. So it's a beautiful,
Right. And
yeah.
there's really no age. I
No.
used to think like, oh, I'm too old. There's no age for that. So whoever's out there listening, this is us inviting you, to listen, to hop on the wagon, and allow us to guide you and to serve you, for a greater good, and let you know that, we accept all shapes, sizes, races, everybody. There is no, um, we're not turning I know we talk about women a lot, because that's who obviously we are. We can relate to the most, but men are obviously welcome. Anybody who's ready
Ah,
to
to
hop on
receive,
the, yeah,
yeah,
to receive and to hop on the spiritual wagon. It's a very beautiful journey, and we invite you to come and be part of it.
yeah, absolutely. So to kind of give you an idea, I started my personal development journey pretty much in 2020, or in 2013. At the end of 2012, I got a call from my doctor that I needed to make some big decisions in my life for my health, and I was on the borderline of being diabetic. And so being that I seen my grandfather on my dad's side go through that with my grandmother taking care of him, I knew for myself I didn't want to do that. I also knew that I didn't want to have to deal with that myself, going through everything, and wanted to just basically, lead a healthier life. So I really had to make some decisions in my life and figure out what I wanted to do. And so from there, I did some research and found two companies that I wanted to join and use their products to help my health journey. And the one I decided to go with was Beachbody. And I decided to join for my own health benefits. And I ended up actually becoming a coach. And as naturally I was, losing weight and using their products and seeing the results. And so people were just asking what I was doing. So naturally I fell into coaching, and I was doing that for almost 3 years. I lost 100 pounds, and it completely transformed my lifestyle and my mindset. It's when I really fell in love with personal development and really just had a better relationship, not only with myself through food, but also with my mindset. And then just being able to really gain that self-confidence and that self-love and that self-empowerment in my 30s that I had never, ever had in my life prior to that. So I'm truly grateful for the start of that journey, as it's just been able to develop and just grow even that much more. So life happened soon after that, and I went through a divorce, and just realizing that I was deserving much more than I was receiving, and just wanting more for myself in general. I had to make some big decisions again, and I moved back to California from Florida, and that was in November of 2016 when I went through my divorce and came back to California, where I'm originally from. And I decided to basically just work on myself and getting myself back together after kind of going through this big life change, and still on my personal development journey, still trying to figure out myself and what I want to do. At that point, I was no longer a Beachbody coach, and I had just been experiencing life. And since I had gone through my divorce, I was actually introduced to another company that was for financial literacy and teaching those on how to be more successful within our finances, as we're not taught this in our regular education. And so for me, as someone who just went through a divorce, I needed the education and I needed the support to get me back on my feet, because I had never been in such a position with my credit and my finances and such. So I really needed the education to learn how to kind of dig myself out of the hole I had dug through my divorce. So I was grateful to be introduced to this company where then I was teaching financial literacy and pouring, my learning and my knowledge into learning for myself, but then also naturally helping others and doing the same for others. And during this journey, I was able to do a lot for myself and really focus on things, and what I needed to do to not only help. I kind of went through the physical as far as my Beachbody journey, and then a lot of the mindset as well. And being with the financial literacy opportunity, I just developed that mindset even further into finances and everything else. So that's really grown since then. And just in that journey, I decided that even though I was helping people and I was happy doing what I was doing, it wasn't enough. I knew there was still more to what I'm supposed to be doing here in this life experience of mine. I knew that it wasn't, I thought at first it was pretty much going to be my end all and this is what I was going to do. And then it came to a point where I just figured that there was more for me. There was more for my purpose, more for my potential, more for my passion. And I really knew that there was just more out there. I didn't know exactly what it was, but I just knew that it was going to come. I just had to keep working on myself and keep just, growing and learning new things and developing, myself and my journey. So I had decided at the beginning of 2021 to hire a self-love coach for myself. And that was something I did to then work more on my own self-love development journey. But also that was part of really where I got into doing a lot of the subconscious work, that really makes a huge difference when you're doing your mindset and doing your personal development. I had never done much of the subconscious work as deeply as I had during, my coaching with my coach in 2021, and from there on out, since I learned, it's always been a part of my journey. But rewiring the subconscious is when life truly changes, and it's really doing that work and really having those changes and those switches in yourself. And that's when really life is really a beautiful thing, right? And when you're really able to un unconditioned to decondition yourself from those things that were really taught growing up and were wired to do. And it's really doing that subconscious work that allows you to create something bigger for yourself, and realize that you are enough and you are made for more. And all these things that I struggled with, I was able to kind of overcome them and still have these breakthroughs to this day. But definitely being able to get past these limiting beliefs and just come through and really just have these moments where I've realized that there's times in my life that I've been able to overcome so much, but I still feel like there's always so much more that I'm here to do, and help more people. And so just being committed to my own self-discovery and personal development journey, I've basically been able to realize that everything I need is basically within me, and everything that I desire is a choice, and I can have that choice if I choose to do those inspired actions and follow those dreams and goals that I've always had and set for myself. So as I've been on this journey in the last year, especially, I've really been able to harness and develop and just embody what I truly am meant and feel like I am here to do and to help, those individuals. And so that's where now I'm actually creating and building my own brands. And I'm, been not working or been a part of another company. I've done MLM pretty much my whole entrepreneur life here for the last 10 years. And finally being able to call something my own and build a brand to call my own and be instead of a coach, I am a guide, and to be able to not only help myself through my own journey and my experience, but now being able to help others do the same and to be able to find their fulfillment and light their light and find their their full potential and where they're really desiring to be, as most of us don't really know how to get there and don't really know about the self-discovery journey and how to even have that self-confidence and that self-love and that self-empowerment to even get us to where those dreams can come true, right? So I've been truly grateful for every moment of my journey so far, good and bad. And it's just been one of those things that you really just have to embrace your journey and embody every moment. And just it's been wonderful to just learn how to live life on my terms, basically. And I'm just grateful for the support and the achievements that I've been able to accomplish across the way, and just been able to discover what it is I truly at my heart am passionate about. And I've always been wanting to help other people. And I loved coaching women and doing challenges and helping them lose weight and feel better in their bodies. And, then helping in another facet of financial literacy and helping people get into houses and getting them, to buy cars. And, when you can light people up in different realms, it's just amazing. And being able to now just help people really truly dig in and really get to that core belief in themselves, and really have me believe in them first before they can even believe in themselves, and help them on their journey, as I've been able to really help myself on mine, and use the tools and everything that I've been able to discover along the way as well. And it's just been a great journey so far, and I'm just truly grateful for the transition that I went to from zero confidence, zero self-love, zero self-belief, no self-empowerment. I mean, it's just been unreal. And then really especially this last year, I feel really, truly stepping into my power, really harnessing in and really, just being able to realize that I truly do have everything that, you know, I need within me, you know, and that goes for any of us, but it's so hard for us to see and so hard for us to realize. We're always looking for that external validation or, you know, to do something for other people and not do it for us. Right. So it's really been quite an experience, quite a journey. And I'm so grateful to now be able to not only share more of myself, you know, in the podcast and to help more of you guide throughout your journey, but also, you know, have my own brand and my own business that I'm still developing and more things coming. And it's just, I feel like I've been an entrepreneur for the last 10 years as I have, but I feel I'm just now, you know, stepping into really my light and where I'm really like made to shine, you know, with everybody here. So it feels really great, and I'm really just blessed to be able to be a part of, you know, something bigger and better than me, because, you know, the work that we're doing, both Gabby and I here on this lifetime and this lifetime experience is bigger than us, and it's going to transmute into so much bigger than who we are and what we're trying to accomplish. And so it's just been a wonderful experience so far, and I'm just grateful to be here and to be a part of it and to help guide everybody on their journey. So yeah, that's a little bit about me and where I come from.
It's an amazing journey. And would you say, like, would you say your awakening was back in 2000, what was it, 13, you said? Or would you say it's been more recent, like when you decided to um meet with this self-love coach you said you had, right? Would you say it was that in that time frame, or would you say it was more like back in 2013?
I said, yeah, I would say I've always been I felt like I've been sprinkled throughout my journey, right? But really like my true like let me really peel back. I think it was during the pandemic, and yeah, when I hired my love coach for sure. That was when
To
I
real
pretty
hone
much
in.
yeah, I pretty much was like, okay, this is, you know, this is definitely um eyes wide open, you know, type of deal. So yeah, it was definitely a good experience. I needed the pandemic for sure. The pandemic was good to me in many ways.
I think that the pandemic really shed light for a lot of people. I think, you know, it was hard, but it also allowed you to really sit with yourself because we were confined to, our homes so much. It really allowed us to sit with ourselves and sit with our truth, right? And sit with our hard truth, our shadows, really, if you will. And kind of forced us to really reflect and sit there and be like, you because you kind of didn't know what to expect. We were kind of in a place where we were like, oh crap, what's gonna happen? What is really, what is the future really
Yeah,
gonna hold? We were being
yeah,
told all this uncertainty, all these things, that I feel like it was it was like the catalyst that really, caused everybody to reevaluate their life and sit back. And I know that so many people changed career paths after that, right? Like so many people decided to change careers and stuff, and it really made you think about, like, you only have one life to live. Is this the way you want to live it, or is there something else that you rather do? And then given that we had the time, right? Because we were at home, some of us were at home for long periods of time, and thankfully we were paid, but we had the time to really work on ourselves, right? And even figure out if we wanted to go back to school or take a course or whatever it was. We got to dabble in different things. So I think that the pandemic definitely had its cons, but it also had its pros to it.
yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think it's probably one of the best things that could have happened to me at the time of my life that I needed it for sure. I mean, it not only taught me how to slow down, but also how to go more within, you know, and that's really what I needed was to spend a lot of those dark nights by myself, you know, and just to really go within and sit with yourself, and you go through those emotions and you really just take time to process and reflect and, you know,
Yeah.
just look at things, and it forces you to really be real with yourself and to really get real and look where shit's at, you know.
Right.
And it's like you really have to make some solid decisions. And a lot of us were forced to really go and make those choices for ourselves, which is great. And you're either I feel like most of my circle, at least because of the people that I surround myself with, made it out ahead, or they're getting ahead, and it's just gonna be a wonderful transition. And there's so much beauty that comes from turmoil like this, right? I mean, you can't have a lotus without mud, right? So it's like that where you,
Butterflies, right?
yeah,
About
butterflies,
it,
yeah,
the butterflies are confined to their cocoon for so long, and
right.
only to be released as this beautiful, magical, you know, thing, and when I was in the pandemic, I remember reflecting a lot and thinking about butterflies,
Yeah, yeah.
and just seeing their transformation, and their significance in my life. So
Well,
yeah,
just to us as a whole, because I feel like all of us were cocooned. We're all separated in our own cocoon, working on ourselves. Well, hopefully, most of us were taking time to work on ourselves to reflect and, hopefully grow. But and too bad for those who didn't, but it's okay. But yeah, just like a butterfly where you're, in your cocoon and you're just basically growing and evolving, and all the magic's happening, and then you turn into this beautiful transformation right at the end of it. And I feel that's really, honestly, that's really what happened. I mean, even for myself, deciding in 2021 to get my coach, and then deciding that even that year the same thing, and I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it, but deciding that I was going to leave the North Bay, and want better for myself, because I knew that environment, and I knew where I was. It wasn't thriving. It wasn't, my soul didn't feel like I could thrive there. I wasn't motivated. I wasn't inspired. I knew I needed to change something, and I knew I needed to change my environment in order for that to change. And so I was able to actually recognize that and see that within myself and within, what my desires were. And so I was really able to make that change happen, and be able to relocate, and
that's
and
amazing. That's amazing that you were really able to tune in and listen to your intuition. You allowed your intuition to guide. You really just like surrendered, to it and allowed it to flow and guide you to where you needed to be. And I mean, I'm a witness to your expansion, to where you were to where you are now. You've just totally, yeah, like a lotus, just like bloomed, you know? Um, and it's quite inspiring to see, that if, and all you had to do is shift your, where you were located. That's all you had to do was just shift to a different place. And that was enough. Like that was enough what you needed to be able to just become so much more expansive and just grow so much, you know? Um,
And without the pandemic and going in, I really wouldn't have then had like the wherewithal or the
right.
know-how to know, like, okay, I really, I had time to sit with myself. I had time to actually evaluate where I was living, where I was located, and reflect on even the past how many years that I've been on this journey, right? So really just going and realizing that, I was much happier when I lived in Florida, when I had sunshine every day. That was a plus. So that was something I needed, to get to, and just other things that I knew that I needed in order to really expand myself and to get where I needed to be. And that was, someplace warmer that I could have sunshine every day, and just know that, I'm motivated here and it's warm, and it's what I desire, because that's how my body feels. Right.
Right.
And so being in a place for, I was up there for 4 years, and then decided to move. And it's like during those 4 years, it's like I was growing, but I wasn't growing. You know what I mean? And
Was
I
only
was,
so much growth that could happen, right?
yeah, it was only
And
so
you were
much.
kind of like you were growing, but at the same time you were being held back from really like,
Absolutely. 100%.
expanding, that's the way I feel or felt, you know.
Yeah.
Um and that's kind of how I feel right now, right? I'm wanting to really expand But there's only so much growing you can do in a environment where, you know, you're not always surrounded by positivity. And I think that's what changed for you, right? That now, you know, the saying, you can't change people, but you can change people. You know,
Right.
it's very, very true. You surround yourself around people who are doing better than you, who are growing, you know, who are in different stages, you know, who are further ahead than you, then that's what you're going to strive for, you know. But if you surround yourself around negativity and toxicity, then it's really going to confine you to not to grow, you know, you're going to get trapped. So it's really important, I think, for our listeners to, you know, hear that it's we need to really take these quantum leaps, you know. They are vital in your growth, you know, and it's only, and yes, it's painful, like, but again, it's only through pain that you will be able to step into your power. There is no you cannot hop over that, you know. You really have to walk through it, like you said, and shine your light to be able to have others, you know, shine theirs. You
Right.
know, you really have to walk through that in order to be able to step into your power. I mean, you've done it, I've done it, and I've heard it over and over and over again, you know. It's just what you have to do, and I think that's what our message is, at least for this episode, is to really just take the leap, you know, take the leap, and um don't be afraid to go back into your past, right? Because it's when you go back that you will be able to propel yourself even further ahead.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and you can't just sweep it under the rug and think, you know, it's like we all have things from our past, no matter who you are, you know, there's always something that you need to unpack and just
Heal.
go through and heal. And it's just part of your journey, you know, and it's a beautiful part of your journey because I'm so grateful for being
Is
able to
I was
unpack
going to
what
say, do
I've been able
not
to unpack.
underestimate
Yeah.
underestimate the healing. The healing is, yes, it's very painful, but it is so beautiful. You know,
Yeah.
when you get those little moments of like, oh shit, you know, this is like really, like, this is really happening. Like, I'm really doing this. It's such a euphoric feeling, you know,
Yeah.
and it's definitely contagious and you want more of it, you know. At least for me, right, I'm in a stage where I'm addicted to healing right now. You know, that's all I want to do, all types of healing. Because, you know, when you're growing, I feel like you don't really realize that you're also grieving. You know, you're grieving the past versions of
Yeah.
yourself. You're grieving the, you know, what your past relationships, what those relationships could have been, should have been, you know, your past dreams, you know, or expectations. There's so much grief that comes with healing, and you really have to sit with it, sit with
Yeah.
it, you know. And it's only when you sit with it like you did, that you see things different, you know, and you're like, oh, that's why that didn't happen at that point, because I needed to take this leap. I needed to go over there and do this in order for me to grow, you know. It's only when you're sitting through that that you can really just have the reflection, and that's when the and it's through the pain that the growth happens. You
Right.
cannot have growth happen if you are not, if you do not do the work. You
Oh yeah.
cannot.
And I mean, and it's the pain, it's the fear, it's just stepping out of your comfort zone. I mean, I was definitely, you know, scared to move here. You know, I was again taking that leap, and this isn't the first time I've left my hometown, but you know, again, taking that leap how many years later to move, you know, far away from my family and just start over, you know, and especially as a female, right?
I
So it's
commend you for that. That's fucking hard, you know. That
yeah.
is that is some hard, like I would be struggling with that, you know. It's definitely hard. Single, you know, female, and your family's not around, even close by, you know. You're basically, but it's also very exciting, I feel like.
Oh,
I think
very.
that's what I feel right now, you know, talking about it, imagining myself restarting somewhere else. I feel excited, you know, like I get to recreate myself. I get to create this life now without anybody being able to tell me you can't do this or you shouldn't do that or you have to be this person. You know, you are in charge of your life and nobody else. And that is just, oh my gosh, I can't even, I get so excited just to think about it. So that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. And it really is, because it's just like, living life truly by your own design. I mean,
Right.
I would never, I mean, this was always my goal, being an entrepreneur, and we can get into more of this later. But I mean, when we go into our manifesting, we'll definitely talk more about this when we're talking about manifestation. But it's just the things that when you do the work and you really focus on going within, the things that you can really manifest for yourself and the abundance that is just waiting for you.
You embody it,
It's
right?
just unreal. I
Just
mean, it
really,
just is
really embody everything you want for yourself. And because we can't underestimate that. That's like a really, really big thing, embodying what you're actually manifesting, right? You can't just think it, you can't just write it down. You really have to like embody it, you know? You can't just talk like a duck, you got to walk like a duck too. You have to
right.
do the whole yeah, you have to
I
do it.
do the work.
Otherwise it doesn't work. And act on it, you know,
Yeah.
because a lot of people think, I think, well, again, I'm getting ahead, but a lot of people think like, oh, I'm gonna manifest. Yes, I'm gonna write this down and I'm gonna think about this, and then poof, it's just gonna happen. No, honey, that's not the way it happens. Sorry to
Right.
disappoint you. That's not the way it happens. You actually
Right.
have to act on it.
Right. Inspired action. Yes.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. I totally agree. Well, we'll definitely talk about manifestation in our
Yeah.
next episode, because that is such a hot topic. And I love talking about manifestation and abundance. And I think it's so magical. And so many people are fully capable
Yeah.
of manifesting everything they truly desire. And I cannot wait to just share more, because I think it's such a great topic and so much to share about.
Like
And it's
magic. It's like magic. I love talking about abundance and manifestation. I think that they are very hot topics, you know, and um they make me very excited. They make me
yeah.
very excited, you know.
It's such a beautiful thing once you learn how to manifest things. And like you said, you just want to keep doing it and keep, it's contagious. And it's like once you realize you have that power that you can truly manifest
Ah,
what you want
you
in
can do
life,
whatever you
it's
want.
just like,
It's like
woo,
Denzel Washington said, dreams without goals are just dreams, but dreams with goals, that's what manifestation is. Dreams with
yep,
goals.
yeah.
Because just dreams are just dreams, you know, there's no manifestation in there. So it really is. It really is. But you guys stay tuned. You know, we got
Yes,
that topic coming in next. So we're gonna dive deep into that
yes. So thank
next
you all for
episode.
tuning in to our very first episode. We are so grateful for all
Yeah.
of you listening.
We are so grateful and humbled. Thank you for everyone that's listening, and we're excited. We're excited to continue.
Yes, and thank you
Thank you,
for
Corrine,
hanging out with us and
sharing your
learning
story.
about, huh?
Thank you for sharing your story.
Oh yes, thank you for sharing yours. I appreciate you so much too. And inviting me to do this podcast. And it's just been it's such a dream come true, honestly. Like this has been on my vision board for years.
I like me too. Me too. So this is
So to be able to do this with you and together, it's just gonna be magical and it's gonna be great. So appreciate you and everyone listening, and we'll tune in. And yeah, we'll be back in 2 weeks with another episode.
okay,
So
guys. Bye.
bye.